Now we're going to be starting on our omelet casserole, and I'm going to chop up an onion, or I'm going to peel it and the food chopper's going to chop it up. And the sliced onion, I just do the whole onion. Okay, that looks good. What I'm going to do is the sausage we cook, I'm going to take about a little bit of the drippings and grease our pan. It's better for you than the Crisco and tastier. And then we're going to put the sausage evenly over the pan, and it's drained. I kind of have a cute little story about this omelet bake. My husband and I had went to Amish country for the weekend and stayed at this old barn that they made into a bed and breakfast. And when we had breakfast the next morning, they were serving this, and I just loved it so much. The lady gave me the recipe. She was so gracious to do that. And that's how I came across this recipe. So now we're gonna add 2 cups of Obrien potatoes. And it already has onions and green peppers in it. So Obrien overboard. Next, we're going to add our onions. I don't know if I'm gonna add the whole onion, but we're gonna see. It's kind of like that thing, when my ancestors tell me to stop, I stop. Well, I guess we are going to use the whole thing. That looks good. So the next step is we're going to kind of scramble up 12 eggs like omelet style. Okay, now we're going to put our eggs in. Okay, there's our 12 eggs, and we're going to add a 1/4 cup of milk, or if you had heavy cream, you could even put that, and a teaspoon of salt and 1/2 teaspoon of pepper. Then we're going to mix this all up. I switched over to a fork because honestly this bowl is a little bit on the small side, but it's so Christmassy and pretty I had to use it. When I do this for brunch on Christmas, I use a really big bowl, and sometimes I use my mixer. Okay, that looks good. Now we're going to put our egg mixture over our sausage, potatoes, and onion. And I'm just gonna make sure it goes all the way to the bottom. So we're gonna put this in a 350-degree oven for around 25 to 30 minutes. I would check it at 25 minutes. Okay, now we're gonna make our biscuits. We're going to start out with 2 cups of self-rising flour, and we're going to use like 2 blubs, 2 good spoons of Crisco. We're going to work this into the flour till, you know, it's incorporated in pretty well, pretty small little pieces of the Crisco. This is how my mom taught me how to make biscuits. Our shortening is pretty well incorporated into our flour. You would usually use buttermilk, but I didn't have any today, so I put a tablespoon of vinegar in my milk. So we're going to do it that way today. You could also just use plain milk. It turns out good like that too. My mom just always did it with buttermilk. That's how we like it. Now I'm seeing this is a little bit dry for me. So what we're going to do is just add a splash more of milk. Let's see if that gets the right consistency that I need. Just a little bit more. Just use a little at a time. You can always add a little more, but you can't take it out. And I can always tell when it's just about right. That looks just about right. I'm gonna take a baking sheet and put a little bit of flour on it. And we're going to put our biscuits on top of the flour. So now what we're going to do is we're gonna fold it over on itself. You wanna do this several times so that you have nice layers. Make it a little longer. It's like this. Okay, that looks just about right. Okay, we're gonna take some of the Crisco and grease the pan really well so our biscuits won't stick. And then what we're going to do is, okay, and we'll set these to the side. Now we're gonna put the biscuits in. I put them on 400 and I cook them for like 5 minutes and then I turn it down to 375 and I cook them for about another 20-25 more minutes. Just check at 20 minutes and see what they're doing. Our biscuits are ready to come out and get some butter on top of them. And we're gonna just take a little bit of butter and run it over them. Makes them look a lot prettier too. We're gonna put them back in the oven for another 5 minutes. Okay, our biscuits are done. Let's get them pulled out. Okay, so here's the final product with the biscuits. How beautiful they are on the inside. How many layers and how fluffy and beautiful. We're going to start on our SOS gravy now, and we're going to put 6 tablespoons of butter into the same pan that we fried our sausage, because that'll just give it more flavor. And we're going to let that melt. And while that's melting, we're going to take our Armour dried beef, and that's what we use for this. I usually use one big jar, but all my store had was the little small ones when I went. Okay, so what we do is we rinse the chipped beef, because this stuff is really, it's dried beef and it's salted. You couldn't even eat it if you didn't rinse it off. Give it a quick rinse. Okay, now we're gonna take it back over to the stove. Okay, now what we're gonna do is cut this in half. Cut it into, small pieces and put that into the butter. Now we're gonna go over and rinse the other jar off. This is how my mom always did it. She put it in the butter and let it cook till it's warmed all the way through. Bring out the flavor of the meat. Our chipped beef is warmed all the way through. So now what we're going to do is we're going to add a 1/4 cup and half of a 1/4 cup and 1/8 of self-rising flour. We're going to incorporate this in to the butter. So we're back working on the SOS gravy. And my dad never liked onions or anything else in his except the beef, the butter, flour. And we're going to put 3 cups of warmed milk that I warmed up in the microwave. And you will not need to add any salt to this because it will be salty enough. Okay, our casserole's done. And that's our beautiful casserole. Now we're going to put 2 cups of shredded cheddar cheese on top. Well, it's supposed to be 2 cups, but I like cheddar cheese. Yeah, just extra sprinkle, it won't hurt anything. I don't know if there's such thing as too much cheese. If I can see the omelet, I think it must need a little more cheese. We're just gonna put this back in the oven long enough for this cheddar cheese to melt. And now our SOS chipped beef gravy is all done. So we're going to just put a little bit of pepper in it at this point, however, much you like. I always think gravy needs a little pepper to it. And that's it. And there you have it. It's our omelet casserole and our homemade biscuits with the SOS chipped beef gravy. And we're going to give it a try. Jeez. All right. Get a little bit of the gravy and the biscuit. It's like the perfect bite. It's just delicious. I hope you'll give it a try, and happy holidays from Connie's Cottage.